everything that you build your career, your status, your presence on is only as strong as what it stands on. Now, y'all already know if you are in this community and follow the authentic power strategies, you know that we are bringing you strategies that are not really ever talked about in women's leadership. And this video will prove to you that that strategy is correct. You see, because I intend to change everything that you do to walk through your life. And it has everything to do with your feet. Yes, I said your feet, the foundation that your entire body stands on. You're going to be amazed. Trust and believe. And as I always say, if you want to liven up your employee resource groups and have a free video that you can share at one of your meetings, this one's it. Okay? I'll see you in the video. So when I was growing up, I used to look at my mom's feet. Yes, my mom's feet. She had a lot of issues. And I clearly remember this time being at the family reunion and we're all getting ready to go to the pool. And I looked down at my mom's feet and she had flip flops on. And it was the first time that I noticed that my mom did not have a big toe nail. She didn't have a toenail. Now, and I want to let you know, it's okay. My mom is okay with me talking about her feet because it's all to benefit y'all. Okay. So I want to share that because I looked at my mama's feet and I said, she doesn't have a toenail. And then also my mom had a bunion and the big toe went in like this. And then her second toe kind of overlapped it. Overlapped it. Then I started to look at my uncle's feet and they all look the same. I was like, how does that work? And I kid you not, because I wanted to, really be a part of my family, the Jackson family, I started taking my toes and trying to put the second toe on top of my big toe. I kid you not. That's how deep I wanted to be connected to my mom and to my uncles. My father did not have those feet. And I really honestly thought that's what Black people's feet look like. I mean, seriously. And it wasn't until I got older that I began to realize that, oh, my mom's feet were messed up. My mom's feet were jacked, actually. So I was really struck by that because I started to see that my feet were forming a bunion. Yes, a bunion. That's where the bunion, it's along the side of your big toe where there is a protrusion of the bone. And I might just show a photo of my feet because I am the authentic power strategist. And you might be saying, okay, Diana, what does this have anything to do with women leadership and how we function? My sister, and to everyone watching this video, everything, everything, because let me tell you why bunions are formed and why it has everything to do with your sustainable long-term strategy of leadership and how to reduce injuries as you age. If you're new to this channel, you may be shocked, but don't be because we're here to bring new, exciting things that have everything to do with your biology. If you want to catch up, we've been following along what I like to call our executive biology audit. This is where we are reducing the ambition gap that McKinsey leadership did a study on that said that women lack ambition, which I don't agree with. We're reducing this ambition gap from the inside out because a lot of us aren't paying attention to the fact that we are human. And that as opposed to success and all the things that you're looking for on the outside, you got to start taking care of your biology. And so we aim to help you as an executive woman, as a woman who is at that level of leadership, if you're 40 and above, you're starting to feel the impact of wearing tight shoes. And as my friend said, Jen from Lockton, she said, we were all out there trying to find the cutest Jessica Simpson shoes at DSW and TJ Maxx on sale about this high, wearing them for 8 hours a day, getting our feet to fit like into pointed shoes. Am I right or am I right? I know I'm right. You know, if you are 40 and above by the watching of this video, this is 2026, you likely are experiencing some sort of feet problem. If you were that woman who was wearing those pencil skirts and them high heel shoes and even dancing in them, right? And you likely at the end of the day had a pair of tennis shoes in your bag so that you could change out of those shoes because your feet were hurting by the end of the day. Multiply that by decades and you will understand why this video is so critical. Now, if you're watching this video and you are a woman who is 18, 20, 25, 30, there's a chance for you, okay? Which is what I've been seeing lately, sidebar, because I've been going to all these women's events and I've been seeing so many women wearing tennis shoes and shoes that I'm about to show to you because I'm telling you, we're getting smart and we're understanding why. Why did we do that to our feet? But I intend to go a little deeper because what we've got to understand is the impact of squishing our feet into shoes like that for years and years and years. Now, some of you all may know that I've been listening to the Diary of the CEO. Stephen Bartlett, has great guests on there. I am a subscriber. I am not sharing this information to you because I'm being paid for this. I am only telling you, and I'm logging into my laptop right now because I want to give you the author of this amazing, actually, the person who was talking on the Stephen Bartlett Diary of a CEO podcast. Now, I want to let you know that this person, and I'm going to put on the show notes who this is because I want to give serious props to this individual because when this person was saying something and the doctor, foot doctor, was talking about this, he was saying that people don't realize that as you age, your feet and the degree by which they are healthy is the degree by which you are aligned, meaning that you have unhealthy feet, you are not aligned in your body. So, what does misalignment do? Well, for those of you who have been following our work for a long period of time, you know that means that you're likely not being yourself. You don't have a clear identity of who you are. You're walking around with a mismatched identity, cognitive dissonance. You don't have good metabolic health. And according to this doctor, you are actually prone to injury in your joints on whatever side or both sides of the feet that are misaligned. So I want to give you a personal story because I started to see, of course, I saw my mom's feet like this, and then I started to look at my feet, and I started to see, and I didn't see this until this doctor was talking about this. Honestly, I did not see that, and that was just like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. But I started to think about my injuries over the years. I had a left ankle sprain. That's the side where my bunion is on. I also was experiencing some knee pain, the side that my bunion was on. I have a labrum tear in my hip, the side that my bunion is on. Everything on the left side. Now, again, I didn't know this information before I started doing yoga. But when I went into my yoga instructor and I was doing a downward dog, or she was looking at me and she was like, "Do you know that your left hip is up, tilted up a little bit?" And I had no idea. But not at one point did I think it had anything to do with my feet. Never did I ever think that my feet health had anything to do with this. But it has everything to do with it. For those of you who are experiencing back problems, and this happens to a lot of men, women get it too. You've got to look at your feet health, right? And it's not, by the way, bunions and corns and all these other issues of feet. It doesn't just occur to women. It occurs with men too. Anybody ever dealt with plantar fasciitis? It's inflammation in your feet that causes excruciating pain, which has a lot to do with your feet health. Now, I want you to understand that as an executive level, high achieving woman in corporate, it's critical that you understand this information. And I'm going to tell you, some of y'all are like listening to this and going, I am not giving up my heels. Okay, sis, I'm just telling you that you've got to do some of the things that I'm going to be talking about here that are going to help you get yourself in better alignment. And the reason is because I know like looking cute is one thing, but looking cute, aging well, and sustaining a certain level of energy that allows you to be ambitious, according to McKinsey, you've got to start doing the things that we're talking about. You've got to start implementing this inch by inch. Now, what's great is that if you are in a community of people that talk about these types of strategies, you have a better chance of achieving them. Why? Because the studies show on psychology that most people follow the crowd. I mean, we look and go, okay, we're supposed to do this, we do this, right? And if repeating enough, whatever you focus on expands. Well, that's the reason why we have our Rise 53 Inner Circle, and we go through these topics week by week. In fact, what I'm bringing you to today, for those of you who've been following along for a long time, you know that I bring you just a snippet of what we talk about to you as an authentic power strategy subscriber. And so I want to tell you, I'm going to read to you a little bit about what we've been talking about. These newsletters are written and these coaching corners are written by our amazing director of communication, Yanaya Curry, who happened to be my former mentee, always a person that I will learn from, and she's just exquisite in her writing. So I want to read this to you. And by the way, hold on, my glasses fell, and I have cute new glasses this time because I can't find my other glasses. I'm at that stage, y'all. Okay. All right. So I want to read this to you that this week we're going to be focusing on foot structure, footwear patterns, mobility and toe function, and light left to right imbalance. Okay. So, you know, as you age, most people lose balance, right? It starts in your feet. It starts in your feet. So, the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to, if you've never, just take a look at your feet. Take a look at your feet. See what they look like, right? Just really look. And then study your parents' feet. Look at them. I mean, I know I was early in the game, taking a look at my mom's feet when I was little, but you see, patterns matter. One of the things we're going to be talking about a lot in May, in a lot of our videos, is looking at patterns and the utilization of those patterns and how you can create new patterns. So first, take a look at your feet. Second, take a look at your parents' feet. Third, look at your most frequently worn shoes. And for those of you who love numbers and you love to quantify data, then I would ask you to quantify the data of your shoes that you wear now, but then look at your decades. If you are in your 50s, like me, a beautiful age of 57, if you are in your 50s, then I would look at like quantify what type of shoes you wore in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. For those of you who've been in corporate since your 20s, it's going to be a pretty easy thing to do, right? And it was pretty quick for me to understand why I was among that Jessica Simpson crowd, because I was trying to find them cute shoes, especially for an event. I mean, and especially for a party on the weekend. No, I wasn't thinking about shoes that were comfortable. I was thinking about high heel shoes, and don't let me find some boots that were high heeled and pointed. Honey, I would be wearing them in a second and would wear them the entire time as if it was a competition for me to be able to keep those shoes on for as long as I could. Not anymore. I, I know some of y'all are going, yep, that's me. I can feel you screaming. Okay. Here's the thing. This audit is critical. So I want to take you to another piece of the audit, which I don't always do in these videos, but I want to give you a little bit more value. Okay. Because the pain that you're feeling isn't necessarily from your hip, your knee. It likely is in your feet. So your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, and then your spine. That's how it travels. A serious ankle injury that I had, as I said to you earlier in the video, never really made me look at my feet, but now it does because your foundation determines your longevity. And as the scriptures say, if you build your house on sand, most people are going to have their house go down. Biologically, your house is going to go down if you do not start doing these things. So, another practice that I want you to get into, all right, what I want you to do is to spend 5 to 10 minutes barefoot. Okay, I have my bare feet right now. Yes, I showed you my video in an executive level corporate meeting. I straight up did. I'm the authentic power strategist. Hello. And I want you to practice toe spreading, actively pressing your toes out. So if this is your foot, I won't let you look at my foot the whole time, but I will give you my hand as a reference to the foot. Look at this and go like this with your feet and go out like this. Then I want you to stand on your feet and feel the weight distribution of your feet. And notice if you're collapsing inward or outward or leaning to the side. Because here's the truth. You cannot lead powerfully if your body is constantly compromising. And if your feet are like leaning to the outside or leaning to the inside, or if you're unable to splay your feet out without pain, if you are unable to move your big toe, I mean, that's a big thing. I'm telling you all, I couldn't even move my big toe where the bunion was. Because I was like, how do I do that? I couldn't do that. Now, the reason this is so important is because you have to realize that if you can catch it now, you can do something about it. Because what I hate for you all to do is to go through what bunion surgery. Oh God, no, no, no. In fact, I'm going to link here a lot of the devices that I use. I use toe spreaders. Okay, they are these plastic devices that go into your toes where they spread your toes out as a form of therapy. I also use a device that helps my big toe move out. It puts a little pressure on that bunion. It's like a brace, like braces for your teeth. These are braces for your feet, and it helps you to move that in. Now, there's another company that is now all in my feed who has a lot of different devices, like a ball, like a lacrosse ball to stand on to kind of move your feet. And there's other types of plastic gear and or cork gear to help you roll your feet out. Now, I don't see people doing this for their feet. I've never honestly seen anyone do this for their feet. I've seen them do it for their back or their hip because they might have hip pain or quad pain, but never for their feet. Ladies, it's time for us to care for what's carrying us around. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? I certainly hope so, because it's critical that we do this. So holla if you hear me, and hopefully not just because your bunion hurts. That's a joke. Yeah. Yeah. We're not just fixing your feet. We're going to be restoring your alignment. And this alignment, here's the thing. We are aligning from the inside out. A lot of you are just aligning what you say, how you dress, how you appear, but I need your energy and your biology to be aligned. And by the way, foot health, foot foundation is what we call our executive performance system, right? This is a part of executive performance. If you want to be an executive woman in the Rise Advocates Academy, you have got to start taking your biology seriously. And if you're picking up what we are laying down, I want you to say, I'm picking it up in the comments. And I want, if you're like, I like this woman, I like the way she vibes, I like her new hair because I got a new hair color and some new glasses. So, but if you like the energy that I'm giving to you, I would love you to travel with us. We actually are having our Rise Advocates Academy, which is our flagship program. It's 12 weeks long, and this is for executive women, for people who are willing to invest in themselves at a high level. And we start cohorts periodically. And soon, maybe by the time this video, well, I don't think it's by the time this video is produced, we will be having, you can buy our academy on Evergreen, meaning that you can purchase it anytime without having to wait for a cohort to assemble. But I'm going to tell you right now, the secret sauce is the cohort. Okay, getting together with other high achieving women, sharing stories, and creating community. The other way that you can create community, if you don't want to do our flagship program, but you are willing to invest in yourself, you can be a part of our Rise 53 Inner Circle. This is where we meet every single Friday. We have coaching messages just like this, and we dive deep, and you get little teeny weeny tiny bites of information that will help you change the way you walk. Get it? Walk through your life, your feet. I know, I should have been a comedian. Lastly, I want to say just subscribe. Subscribe to this community. Stay connected to these weekly messages. We produce them on YouTube and on LinkedIn because we want to keep you going, want to keep you invested, keep you slowly working on this. And we do this weekly. All right, my sister. All right. Well, if for those of you who picked this up, I'm so grateful. If you are a corporate employee resource group leader, or you are in leadership development and you need topics like this to be spoken at your organization from someone who likes to have fun, I do a lot of speaking and consulting as well. Message me. All right. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in.